Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. What are you doing? Are you home? Let me guess, you're home right now, right? All right, I am so excited to be here. I am Phylecia Jones, the host of Ask the Budgetologist. I'm a two-time TEDx speaker. I'm also a personal finance contributor for Daily Blast Live, and I run a company where I do a lot of research helping people find speaking engagements. But today, I'm stepping into my money hat and we're going to talk about the Paycheck Protection Program. And the question that I've been asking, and you might be asking, and you might not know, is can the Paycheck Protection Program help you as a creator, freelancer, speaker, a solo business owner, or even a small business owner? So we're going to talk about one of the three distinct packages to help business owners under the CARES Act that was signed on March 27th, 2020. Yeah, I have to remember what year we're in, but we're going to keep talking about that. I have my notes for the day. Please, if you know of anyone who needs to hear about this information, please feel free to share this out, okay? Share this information out. And this thing has been moving so fast. Whew. All right, we're just gonna jump into it. So, all right, for those of you who are stopping by, like I said, I'm Phylecia, and we're gonna talk about the Paycheck Protection Program when it comes to you as a solo business owner. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment box. It's to the left, to the right, below me. Just pop them in the comment box, and I'll be sure to at least come up with an answer for you or find one for you after the show is done. All right, so here's the thing with the Paycheck Protection Program. All right, the CARES Act allowed for three distinct programs to help business owners at this time. So one is the Paycheck Protection Program. The other one is the Economic Injury Disaster Loans that goes through the Small Business Administration. I'm going to break those down over the next few days. I was going to try to put them all into one, but let's just be honest, they are so freaking confusing. I mean, I heard about these last week when they went in, and the information just constantly changes. So there's the Paycheck Protection Program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, and the Emergency Economic Injury Grants. So I'm just going to briefly go over the last two because I'm going to break down the PPP today. Now, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, this is sponsored by the Small Business Administration. You're going to have to put in an application with them. Also, that the Emergency Economic Injury Grants is offering like a bonus $10,000, no strings attached, but you have to apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which is like a 3.75% interest rate over a 10-year term. That's if you need a loan for your business. That's also how you will apply for this other grant program. All right, you following me? Because this is about to get even crazier the more I break this stuff down. All right, so that's what those different things are. But now we're going to talk about the Paycheck Protection Program because there are a lot of solo business owners, self-included, that are trying to figure out, is there any help for me? Can I get help? What is going on? Because, the world's just a little cray-cray right now. So we're going to talk about this particular program. This is actually a loan that was part of the CARES Act that was signed a week ago. And it is a loan that is a completely forgivable loan, meaning you sign up for the loan as long as you use the loan to pay for the required expenses. You don't have to pay it back. All right, so let's jump into this PPP program, or the Paycheck Protection Program. This is a loan. So this is, it will definitely help you as a freelancer, as a creator, as a solo business owner. They make a very distinct, they make a distinction between sole proprietors and independent contractors, and also self-employed. Those different things determine when you can and when you cannot apply for this loan. All right, so as a sole proprietor, this is a person who reports their income on a Schedule C on your personal taxes, okay? On your personal tax return. So you are considered a sole proprietor if you still use a Schedule C, All right, a Schedule C. You get that? When you do your taxes, Schedule C. For independent contractors, these are people who get 1099 MIC forms. So I actually get both because I get a 1099 from one particular job, but I'm also a sole proprietor. Schedule C, I was about to make that jump this year to a S Corp. And so, of course, with S Corps and C Corps, you're under this as well, but it's just a distinction of when you can apply and what the expectations are. All right. So here's the Paycheck Protection Program. So the requirements to be a part of this loan program is that you have to have been in business, up until February 15th, before February 15th, 2020, and have less than 500 employees. All right. The qualification is based on payroll. That is it. And payroll does include all kinds of compensation that includes salaries, wages, commissions, healthcare, insurance premiums, things like that. And I'll break down what I've read recently, as of last night, because it literally changed within a couple of days. I'll break down what they mean by the wages and commissions when it comes to you as a solo business owner, because you might be thinking, well, I don't, what's going on? All right. So as a solo business owner, you're still eligible for this program. Now, the interest rate is a 1% interest rate with a 2-year term. And like I said, as long as you use this money for the required expenses, which is mainly wages, payroll, to pay others, you can have this loan completely forgiven. And in order to apply for this loan, you have to go through SBA approved lenders. Okay. That means you have to call up your local bank to see if they are an SBA approved lender. Whew. I called up my local bank and they are not. So you have to go and look at some different banks. Now, here's the tricky part about all of this. Tricky. That's the one thing about money. They were not going to make this money easy to get sometimes. But if you're patient, we can probably work our way through this. Now, the thing with going through an SBA approved lender, that means they've tossed it onto the banks to figure this out. Some banks have decided to halt applications because they are still waiting for some terms back from the federal government. Like, are these loans guaranteed? Which the federal government says they are, but it seems like the banks have a whole different story. So it's kind of like two people living in the same house and somebody has a different version of a story. That's kind of what's going on here. Because this program kicked off today, which is April 3rd. It kicked off at, I think it was midnight, or it could be 12 p.m. I heard one of the 12s. So it kicks off today. So what some banks have done, which is shady, they decided to give everybody the day off so they didn't have to process all of this craziness over the weekend. But no matter what, a lot of the other banks have decided, some, not all, but some banks have decided that they are not accepting new customers. So some banks have decided to only work with their customers first. So that can be a big challenge if your particular bank does not service this type of loan. So all I can say right now is you're going to have to practice a lot of patience. There's $350 billion in this pot, and they've tossed all of us small business owners with 500 or fewer employees down to us freelancers, solopreneurs, solo business owners, all into one pot to scrape and get $350 billion. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Now, in order to apply for this loan, and I actually me personally, I know a lot of us are bootstrappers when we get into our business. I actually don't think this is a bad loan to pay attention to because of the forgiveness factor and it's really trying to encourage us to keep paying people, So what you will need as far as proof for this loan, and we've talked about this a lot when originally with the original air date of these shows from 2017 to 2019, you're gonna have to default to your profit and loss statements. All right, business owners, you need to have your profit and loss statements. If you do not have your stuff together, let me know. I know of some amazing bookkeepers. I know of some amazing accountants that I absolutely trust. I would love to send you to them to get you some help with this. But you're going to have your profit and loss statements ready and available so that you can fill out the application. So if you don't have that stuff together, don't waste anybody's time and don't waste your time trying to fill out this application if you have not kept up with the numbers of your business. You got this weekend. Figure it out, okay? So you will have to have your profit and loss statements ready to go. Or for those of you, and that's for those of you who have not submitted your 2019 tax returns yet, okay? So if you have not submitted your 2019 tax returns, you're gonna have to default to your bookkeeping records and things like that. For those of you who have submitted your tax returns. This is so much. I'm trying to remember this all off the top of my head. For those of you who have submitted your tax returns, you will have to show proof through your Schedule C. Okay. You're going to be using your Schedule C, which comes from your profit and loss statements and from your bookkeeping records and things like that. All right. So you're going to have all of that information. You're going to have to show proof of the start date of your business. Now, I tried to dig and I couldn't distinguish whether or not they needed to know if you have a EIN, things like that. It sounds like it's a very gray line. So, because you could still be considered self-employed when you technically have not done all the official paperwork to be recognized as a self-employed person. So, but they do need proof of the start date of your business, and they will want your payroll records. For those of you who are S Corps and you are a corporation, technically, you will have to show that you have been giving yourself a salary through payroll. Okay? You're going to have to show that you've been giving yourself a salary through payroll because of being distinguished or being designated as an S Corp or as a corporation. Let me take a breath, y'all, because, this is crazy. Please, for those of you who are tuning in, I am Phylecia Jones. You're watching Ask the Budgetologist. This is a show I did 2 years daily from 2017 to 2019. Decided to start it back up. For some reason, I felt we needed to talk about money. But everything that I'm saying right now, everything I'm saying today, always double check everything that I'm talking about. Read, go and do your research. Talk to your accountant. Literally, some of this information has been changing almost every other day because the rules are kind of there, but not completely there and kind of out there. So don't be surprised if things keep slightly changing and if more clarifications keep coming out, because literally when this was signed a week ago, the interest rate was 4%. Now it's down to 1%. So that's why I'm saying we're going to have to just stay a little bit vigilant on all of this information that is going on. Hey, Holly, how you doing today? All right. So where were we with the paycheck? Oh, right now we are talking about the Paycheck Protection Program and whether or not you as a solo business owner, solo entrepreneur, freelancer, 1099 independent contractor, creator, self-employed, whether or not this program is good for you. So here are the extreme basics. The PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, is a loan backed by the federal government that was signed under the CARES Act on March 27. This loan is being overseen by SBA approved lenders. You can't go to the SBA for this one. You're going to have to go to a local bank that is an approved lender. I will be posting all of the links to what I have found last night for you to go and see if a bank is in your area. There isn't one in my area, and I'm in Castle Rock, Colorado. So you're going to have to find a bank. Some are being extremely shady and not taking on new clients or new customers. So you're going to have to do a lot of work to get some of these people on the phone. And the banks have been extremely overwhelmed because this thing kicked off today. You can apply for this thing today. All right. And so the basics of this is that this thing is based on payroll. So for you as a solo business owner, you might be saying, well, I don't run payroll. All right. So this is how they're doing it. They're basing it off of your net profit. what? You know, all of the money you made, minus cost of goods, minus cost of operations, that little bit that's sitting down there. So what we did try to do last night was figure out if you were kind of hitting the zero bucket when it comes to having a profit. Don't really know at this exact moment. There are tons of calculators. I will post them in the comment box so that you can go play around with these calculators. It seems like, sorry. So it's going to go off of, they are for solo business owners who do not run payroll. It's going to go down to your net profit. But, here's a nice little but the wages or the salaries that you paid other people can be considered in this thing as well. You see how confusing this is? So basically you can go with the net profit of your company, but let's just say you have hired on 1099 people, or, you know, you hired your mom and you've been running paying her invoices. You can use those as salaries and wages to show that you have been paying other people. Remember, the goal of this program is to help you keep paying people. As a business owner. So here's the thing, you're gonna have to pay attention to all of that stuff. Also, I didn't tell you this, so this is a 1% loan with a 2-year term, completely forgiven if you spend the money on qualified expenses. So you got to look at what all of the qualified expenses are. There's a 6 to 12 month deferment. Let's just say you put in your application today. They gave you the money on Sunday. You don't have to, you can defer paying this back for 6 to 12 months. So you won't have to pay this back until beginning of May of 2020. It's a 1% interest rate, which is not that bad. I gotta say, it's not that bad. Hopefully, you know, your business can keep going. And the way they are calculating this is based on 2.5 times your business's payroll costs. So 2.5 times your business payroll costs. That's how they're determining the amount of money that you might be eligible for. So again, that payroll cost, if you are a Schedule C, a corp, you are running payroll to pay yourself, or you're running payroll to pay others. If you are a solo business owner, it's going to default down to your net profit and or the wages and salaries and commissions you have paid others for your business. Not you just paid your bills, but you pay some other folks to help you out in your business. And the deadline for this is June 30th. Okay. June 30th. All right. So like I said, if you have any questions about this, put them in the comment box. If I don't see them, I'm using a new little thingy inside of Facebook. So I may not be able to see all of your questions and comments at the moment. But hopefully, you know, let me know if this is somewhat useful. I was going to try to cram all of these things into one live stream, but they are so confusing. I have to admit it. They are so confusing. So I had to just do one at a time, and I'm trying not to suck up all of your time listening to all of this stuff. So, all right. So I think we got through the basics of all of this. Sole proprietors, again, that means you are paying everything on a Schedule C with your tax returns. Independent contractors, you are eligible to apply for this loan. That means you get 1099 MISC forms. Also, gig workers. These are our Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, our Door Dashers, TaskRabbit, Instacart people. You are eligible for this loan as well. Now, applications are open for small business owners and sole proprietors today, April 3rd. For independent contractors and self-employed, the applications are open April 10th. But like I told you, some banks are being shady. And they closed their offices today, so they didn't have to talk to anybody. Because if I'm right, I think it is 12 p.m. today when all of this kicks off. So you're going to have to really start paying attention to all of this. On all of this stuff, ask questions. If you have an accountant or bookkeeper you trust, ask questions. Go keep reading. You can definitely call your banker. Hopefully they're answering the phone, because I'm pretty sure they are being overwhelmed, because remember, there's a lot of us business owners and everybody is waiting to jump on this thing. All right. Here's another big fat note of warning. So yesterday we talked about unemployment, and I'm going to break that down again. We talked about business owners, solo business owners, sole proprietors, freelancers. We are eligible to receive unemployment during this time. We are eligible to receive unemployment during this time. You have to go apply through your state. But here's the big fat gotcha. You cannot receive the Paycheck Protection Program loan and unemployment at the same time. So you will have to determine which one has the best payout for you. You're going to have to determine which one has the best payout for you and which one will work in your best interest. So if you are looking at applying for unemployment, go ahead and apply. Read what is offered for you, and then you can kind of make a decision on if that's the right move. And if you apply for the Paycheck Protection Program, you can see if this is the right move for you as well. Now, one definitely has a few more benefits. I mean, I don't know if it's benefits, but one is directly coming from the government. You don't have to pay unemployment back. The other one is a loan. If you don't use it for qualified expenses, you will have to pay this loan back at a 1% interest rate. But if you use it for qualified expenses, they say that is forgiven. That's what they say, y'all. That's what she said, or that's what he said. Hey, Annette, how are you doing this morning? We're talking money. We're talking about unemployment, loans, and all that kind of stuff. Annette says she's glad that I'm doing these again. It took a moment for me to decide if I was going to do these again, Annette, because this was a big commitment the first time I did it. But there's so much going on, and I wanted to just be as amazingly, helpful as possible with everybody talking through this stuff. So thank you for showing up. For all of you who are tuning in, do not hesitate to share this out to someone that's trying to figure out all of these different parts of everything that's going on. Also, I'm part of a huge financial community. If I cannot answer questions for you, I know tons of people that can. It's filled with financial advisors, independent bloggers, accountants, bookkeepers, and we've all been just chomping at the bit trying to find as much information to share out to everyone about what is going on. If you are looking for a bookkeeper, because a lot of these programs are going to default to how you have been managing your finances. Either you're going to have your profit and loss statements ready to go so that you can figure out what's going on. So please, if you need help with anything, I can connect you with a bookkeeper that I absolutely trust. Okay. Annette is asking, are you also taking speaking questions on these or just financial? Annette, I will be talking speaking. I will speak about speaking gigs on Tuesday, because that's a whole different conversation we have to have. But I definitely wanted to, because it's Ask the Budgetologist, I wanted to get through all of these financial programs first, because there are a lot of speakers, Annette. All speakers are at the same playing field right now. None of us have gigs. So I wanted to make sure that I address some of the things that speakers can get, because they are business owners as well. Because I know a lot of speakers inside of my community of iFind You Close, a lot of the speakers that I'm friends with have thousands of dollars, because speaking, if that's how you make your money, you just hit kind of a little global crisis wall at the moment. So on Tuesday, we'll talk about speaking. I'll take back up the regular schedule. We'll talk speaking, but for the next few days, I'm going to break through all of these financial questions, all of these financial programs, just to help my solo business owners out, to help my speakers out, my freelancers, my creators. I want to help you out as much as possible. All right. I think I'm done talking now. I appreciate you for tuning in, showing up. If you need help with anything, just let me know. I appreciate you. At the end of the day, please just let me know how you're doing. I know some of us are a little bit more emotional right now, so let me know how you're doing. If you need me just to send you a message to say, hey, how you doing? Let me know. But I really do care about you, and I know that we can all get through this. We absolutely can. Annette saying this is helpful. Thank you so very much, Annette. All right, I'm going to go sign off now. See you bright and early tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a fun one. I also got to add in some fun. Tomorrow is behind the scenes, y'all. behind the scenes. I got to get you caught up on what I've been doing since July of 2019. Oh my gosh. It includes attorneys. It includes people stealing stuff, TEDx talks, leaving the country, coming back into the country. Oh my gosh, it is like action adventure for a solo business owner. So make sure you tune in on tomorrow. I'll give you all the details of all the details of what's been going on. And yes, Annette, I have a virtual happy hour plan, or maybe brunch. I'm thinking maybe brunch. It's happy hour. We can be happy in the morning. All right. I'll get you all the details when we start doing all of that kind of stuff. So thank you. Stay happy, y'all. Stay happy. Keep going. Stay focused. And you know what? Try to find some happiness in all of this craziness. So happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye.